Hey, g'day guys, it's Adam from VideoShowMeHow, and in this video we are working on the D-Max. It feels like it's been a minute since we've said that, and if you've got one of these and you're active on the forums, you're on the socials, that kind of thing, you probably heard a little bit about uneven tyre wear on the front of these if you've got a D-Max or a BT50. And this video is video 1 of 2, and it's going to be checking out the full proper replacement. And that is the full replacement steering knuckles. They're from Fulcrum Suspension. It's a SuperPro part. We're going to be diving into that in a whole bunch of detail and checking out what they are and sort of how they work. This part of the video is really about getting into understanding exactly what the issue is. These are the new replacement knuckles. They are a fully engineered part, and we're going to be working through, well, what are these? Why do I need one? And is it worth the dollars to upgrade the front end of my rig? Now, my job here isn't to convince you, isn't to say, hey, you need to get one of these. I just want to show you the facts. So I think the best way to do that is actually to get this guy up on the hoist, get it on a proper machine with the lasers. It's going to be a whole lot more accurate than what I can do with bits of string and what have you. So that's what today's video is going to be all about, the before and after. Before we install these guys into the unit, we'll get it up onto the lasers, onto the machine, and see what the bump steer is doing, see what the actual problem is. And then once we get it installed, we'll get it back up on that same machine, the same lasers, and see what the difference is. Now, for me, it's going to take me a little bit of time to get down there, then of course install these guys so I can show you how to do that in the separate video. But for you guys, we'll be down up on the machine in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we're down here at Fulcrum. We've got David, the expert in town, and he's got one of the items in question here. David, take it away. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about what you've got.
So this is the SuperPro steering knuckle that SuperPro's developed for the new BT50s, D-Maxs and MUXs. So we specifically had this designed so that way it would fix the bump steer issues. A lot of the customers and people that own these models are experiencing massive amounts of tyre wear on the cars. And it's all related to bump steer. And so the only way to fix that really is by changing the steering knuckle.
So I reckon from here, we'll get underneath, we'll have a bit of a look at where the knuckle fits and sort of how all that bolts together. And then what we might do is we'll get on the machine and do a bit of a simulation so we can sort of show what it's like now and what the bump steer is and sort of how it all works. We'll give it a bit of a test. So we're going to simulate what it's like when we're taking all the weight off the car, and it's kind of simulating what's going to happen sort of when you go over bumps. So we're going to do that on the machine here, and then we'll get over here and have a look at what's actually going on in the data. So Dave, do you want to sort of talk through maybe a little bit around what we're doing here?
Of course. So essentially we're going to unload the suspension, and that'll simulate like as if you've hit a bump and your car's like unloaded its suspension. Right. Which we'll be able to see the change there initially. Yep. But then when we actually load the suspension back up, you'll see the change in the toe when it starts to load back up again, and that's then simulating as if you're compressing the suspension. Right. There's a huge amount of movement. We should be able to see the tyre even physically move, and then also the numbers.
Well, we saw just before, even just putting some weight on just hanging off the bumper, the numbers over here on the actual data were going crazy on the toe there. So what we've got under here is we're just basically lifting directly off the chassis itself. So we're sort of unloading the suspension. So if we go up, we'll have a bit of a look at what happens here. You can start to see, numbers are going crazy over here. This is the magic numbers we want to see down the bottom.
So you can already see
effectively what we're doing. You can see tyres are just off the ground now.
Perfect. Actually, if you come here, this angle here is perfect. You can see how much the tyre has towed in. And like it's completely different if you go completely front on. You can see just how bad this backside edge is sticking out so much compared to the front. But yeah, numbers wise, it's hard to argue with numbers, and it's pretty significant.
So what are we looking at here?
So these numbers are more related to your camber and caster, which won't really be affected by the steering knuckle. That's more an upper control arm thing, but it's not really a problem right now. Even though it's showing red, it's not really a problem. The toe here is specifically what we're looking at. Right. And that is related to the steering knuckle itself. So bump steer affects your toe, and essentially how it is when you hit a bump, the toe angle changes, and then that's what's causing the tyre wear on these cars. Mainly because the amount that it's moving is causing a lot more pressure and strain on either the outside or the inside edge of the tyre.
And that's basically the tyre angle, isn't it? When
Correct.
we say toe.
The angle, like it's facing basically, is
Yeah.
the toe. So like if this tyre was pointing that way more,
Yep.
that would be toe out.
Yep.
And then if it's facing more towards the inside of the
So
car,
it's
it's toe
that,
in.
without any steering input.
Without any steering
Is
input.
probably the key, right?
Steering
Like,
wheel
we're not-
is straight in this.
We've got the steering wheel locked off in the top there.
Yeah.
And that's probably the key. Without you doing anything,
Correct.
driving dead straight down the road, we can see that the tyre here is pointing inwards.
Yeah.
Which is what this is telling us here as well with the fancy, expensive lasers and
stuff.
I reckon from here, let's get underneath and have a look at the part that we are looking to replace here.
Yep.
And we can have a bit of a look at the different components that we're talking about. So we'll get stuck in underneath here and we can kind of see, well, hopefully you can see. Can you give us maybe a bit of a talk through on what's what? What are we looking at under here?
Yeah, of course. So the steering knuckle is a bit hidden here, but the tie rod end here is connecting to the steering knuckle, and this is the factory one.
Yeah.
As you can kind of see, it's a bit of an extreme example because we do have the suspension unloaded, but the angle of this tie rod is what is causing the issue on these cars.
Right.
So even when it is on the ground and loaded up, there is still a bit of an angle, whereas if it was more level, it's a lot more controlled. It keeps the bump steer in check.
Yeah.
And it's not as harsh as what we usually see on the stock steering knuckle.
Yeah.
The reason we've made a new steering knuckle is because we've moved that point to make it more level.
Right.
So that way it stops the issues.
And you can kind of see what's going on there, right? Because if this arm here was flat, from a length perspective, it's a fixed length. Like obviously there's no movement in that arm. So as soon as we're drooping down too far, that's because it's related to your steering.
Yeah.
Literally what's happening, that's why we're getting this tyre being pulled in because that's a fixed length, right? There's no adjustability or anything going on there. It's drooping beyond where it's designed effectively.
And it's pulling it in.
And it's pulling that toe in, and hence we got toe.
Correct,
Or the wrong toe.
Whereas if it was more level, it's easier to align the part here to be more consistent.
Yeah, sure. Okay, interesting. So what happens? There's a whole bunch of noise around these, and there's a lot of talk around, well, can't I just get an alignment? Won't an alignment fix this, or will an alignment fix this?
Well, so an alignment will mitigate the issue in a sense. So it will sort of slow down the tyre wear.
Yep.
But all you're really doing is effectively either changing to where the tyre is going, and then even like rotating your tyres, that's a common one. You're just moving the problem to somewhere else, and then you're just wearing out new tyres.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking there before as well, because just before the Cape trip, I got a big service on this and got the tyres rotated, right?
Yep.
So this one is from that back corner over there, and vice versa, the fronts, the backs, and crossed and that kind of thing. So by doing that, are you effectively just sort of moving the problem around the car and then therefore sort of wearing your tyres
Correct,
faster overall?
So as we can actually even see in your vehicle, the tyres that wear on the front, they're wearing on one of the edges. So now all we're doing essentially is we've put those ones at the back. They won't really wear excessive on that inside edge anymore, but now we're going to wear excessive on the inside edge of the other tyres now that are on the front.
Yeah,
so you're just making 4 tyres have excessive wear in one part.
Yeah, interesting. All right, we've had a good look. Now, from here, we're going to go back to VideoShowMeHow HQ. We're going to get the thing installed. We're going to come back here in a couple of weeks and then see what the difference is on the lasers. We'll get all those set up there again and see the guys. For me, that's going to be a couple of weeks. For you guys, though, it will be in 3, 2, 1. So we're back. We're back down at Fulcrum HQ. We've got the D-Max all up on the rig again. Same hoist, same legends over here as well. We've got back with Dave. We've got Kerry over here as well. You guys can see that we are all installed. You saw that from the install video. So the DIY install is totally possible if you're handy on the tools. I'll link in the video description down below where you can find that video. It's on the channel as well on how to do it. But I reckon from here, the reason we're back, we've just finished the full alignment. We've got the lasers active. So what we're looking at here is the toe, and more importantly, the lack of movement on the toe. So if we've got hanging on the same part of the bar, you can see we're going from about that 1.7-ish. It's actually not moving very much at all. That's pretty cool. What any thoughts on that? Like what's the...
Honestly, yeah, very similar sort of results that we see for pretty much all of the ones we've installed. You go from roughly like 30 to 40 mil movement to basically under 1 to 1 mil movement overall.
Because that's what we were getting the first time. We were getting about that 40 odd mil
exactly.
movement on both wheels, right?
On both wheels,
before.
essentially, And now you're getting less than 1 on each, and maybe combined total is 1 mil movement.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot.
Pretty massive, pretty cool. So, I mean, that's our super technical hangman test, but I reckon from here, we'll get the rig set up the same as we did on our first time around, and we'll get the D-Max chassis lifted all the way up so we're at full droop on the suspension. and then we will see what happens on the actual line machine, see what sort of difference it's made. Well, there we go. We can see the numbers don't lie. If we even it out, now we had a bit of a look there. The reason why those numbers are different is purely because we're on the wonk here a little bit. We tried to get it about as perfect as possible. You can see, well, hopefully you can, the difference between the tyres there. We're slightly up higher on this side. So if we sort of split the difference there, you can see we're probably at about, what, 10, 11, something like that?
Roughly like 10 mil change. Like it was 1.7, 1.9 each side, and you've gone, what, 12 on this one, 8 on that one. So
exactly,
let's say that 10 mil movement.
Yeah, so at somewhere around there, that's, my maths isn't great here, but I'm going to say about 70% improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Because when we did this a couple of weeks ago, those numbers were starting with a 4.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were in the 4s from there, basically 40s plus.
We'll just put the tape in over the top here just to make sure I'm not making that up, but that's a massive difference. And if we have a look there to what we were saying last time, like having a look under here, that was this angle here. Now, of course, like we said in that first video, this is wildly extreme. And if you're cruising down the road and your tyres are off the ground, you probably should stop jumping your car because that's not what it's designed for. Most of the time, you're never going to be at full droop, right? Like that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
If we think about what we were looking at there before with the angle of your steering arm here, that's what's changed now. Because we've got the upgraded arms in here, that point has raised. So the pivot point there is less, meaning that as that drops, because it's fixed like we talked about last time, it's not pulling this guy in as much as it was there before with the factory ones, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, the whole geometry change has stopped it from being able to push or pull either way, depending on how your tyres are moving.
Yeah, so that's really, really cool to see. And obviously we're not mucking around here. We can't do this in the shed because we've got the proper layers and everything. And well, there you go, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. We're got a pretty serious difference. Now, the other thing I was just thinking about there before is the UCA or upper control arm. That's a common thing. Now, I don't have, as you guys know, if you've been watching and following the build, I don't have those. I've still got the factory fresh, maybe less factory fresh, but I've still got the factory upper control arms in there. What happens if I get upper control arms? Is that going to fix my issue? What's that going to do to the laser?
So the upper control arms are good, but all they really do for that is it's going to bring your camber down a little bit, but then you're going to get a little bit more movement for your caster to go forward.
Right.
It's not going to affect your toe at all, and the reason for that is the control arms aren't going to affect how your tie rod's mounting to your steering knuckle.
So it's the UCA is literally changing this angle or giving some adjustability at the top there. Nothing to do with the bottom one, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, it's not going to change how that's positioned or moving.
So it's pretty much going to change these figures, mainly this one. But nothing, it's not going to touch that.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. Well, there you go. I think we're about done. We've got everything all nice and aligned. We've got everything. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of more information around this, really, around what they are, how they work, and what kind of difference you made. Hopefully that gives you some information. I mean, this is sort of a no BS. You can see here we're literally in the same spot, on the same hoist, the same. You saw me install it in that other video. Like, I mean, this is as open as I could be to show you exactly the difference it makes. I guess from here, what happens if people want to know more? Where can they go? How do they find out?
Definitely. So if they want to know more, you can either head to the Fulcrum website and then go to the product itself. It's got a lot of information there. Or if you don't want to go on the website like that, you can just give us a call, and I'm sure I'll give them the number. Which
your number's 24/7, right? I'll insert it on the screen here somewhere.
I wish it was 24/7. I'd never get any sleep. But yeah.
Well, thanks very much to you guys. Thanks for all the tinkering and doing this with me as well to see what kind of difference this makes. It is a common problem, it seems. So there's a lot of chitter chatter about it. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Is tyre wear something you're experiencing? Have you seen or heard different bits and pieces? Hopefully this video busts some myths for you as well. From here, we'll get this thing back down on the ground and we'll head back to VideoShowMeHow HQ. So here we are, we're back at VideoShowMeHow HQ. We've got the D-Max. It's been on a couple of little trips. over the last couple of weeks since we've had the knuckles installed, and everything is a-okay, steering nice and true. Massive thank you to the patrons of Video Show Me How. As always, you guys are a bunch of legends. If you're interested in finding out more about what we're doing over on Patreon, try and do a giveaway every month or so. We've got another one coming up soon, actually. Head on over to patreon.com/VideoShowMeHow. You can check out all of the details over there. But other than that, guys, as always, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.